Hey, Shalom Israel, Yabashim Yashai, Barakatam to the brothers, Yashim Allah, Bashim Yashai to the sisters. I'm Priest Officer Parag holding down the Sabbath service for the ISUPK coming out of Arizona. If you're watching online, our class location is 12416 North 28th Drive, Phoenix, Arizona. We're in suite number 4. We got classes every Tuesday through Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. Every Saturday, our Sabbath service from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Today, what we're going to go over will be in Proverbs, the 4th chapter. All right, Proverbs, the 4th chapter, and we'll be talking about being double-minded. All right, being double-minded. We're going to cover a few things in this class today. First of all, of course, what it means to be double-minded, how not to be double-minded, and what it means to be on a straight and narrow path. It's funny, you probably don't remember that joke you made last night. You said you called me straight edge. Remember that? Oh, yeah. That's, Greg, y'all got a word for that. He's gonna call you a straight edge, and that's what it is. You're on a straight and narrow path, and that's what you got to do. You got to be not wavering from the left or to the right, because the scriptures tell us that wide is the path to destruction and narrow is the path to salvation. Of course, if you're double-minded, you're gonna go left, right. You're gonna go all over the place, and you're not gonna realize that on the left is death, on the right is death. You got to go down that straight path, and we'll get the precepts for that as well in the book of 2nd Ezra. But for right now, we're gonna start off with these prayers. I might do, which means to stand. Find out we're done, which means to turn the face to eat. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemaya, Kodash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Lakaka, Abah, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Rataza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashemaya, Thanawa, Come, call your one, Masalakanawa, Awatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawatinawa, Walaa, Sabayanawa, Vanasai one, Abal, Awashai now, Mayan, Raikaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Allah, Wata, I will love you in English. Our Father, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. The power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Babakusha, Athalan Nawahaka, Akala Rapaa, Kal Makaala, Wakal Madawa, Akat Latahar, Hamatazariah, Akat Lakwayam, Amatio, Akat Arakawa, Atama, God Shun, Hashem Yahushai, Waraman, in English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in Hebrew. Asha, Ayanya, Ahaharya, Mayan, Yabaa, Isaiah, Ma'im, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Rataza, Al Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Ana, La'a, Yanawam, Walaa, Yayashan, Shamar, Yashala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Zalka, Al Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Wayarach, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Bakal Rai, Yashamar, Atnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'athka, Wabah, Waka, Ma'itha, Wide. We're going to read Psalms 121 lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
You will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Yasharallah
he that keepeth Yahweh
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all
He
evil.
shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
We're going to read Psalms, the 83rd chapter. Allahayim,
Allahayim,
Al-Damaya Laka,
Alam Yalakah,
Al-Thakaraz,
Al Takaraj,
Wa Al-Thashakwat,
Al Tashakwat,
All,
Al
Kayahana,
Kayana,
Awayabika,
Al Yabir,
Yahamayawan,
Yamayawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al-Imaka,
Al-Imaka,
Yarayamwa,
Yarayamwa,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Wayatha,
Aitha,
Aitazawa,
Aitazah,
Al-Tazapawanyaka,
Al Tazapawanyaka,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Nakawa,
Wanakakidam,
Manakakiyam,
Agawya,
Gaya,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Sham Yashala,
Shamya,
Awada,
Awada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawaitazawa,
Aitazah,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakhadwa,
Khan,
Alyaka,
Alia,
Barya,
Barya,
Yakarathwa,
Nakawa,
Ahalya,
Ahali,
Arawam,
Adawan,
Washmaelia,
Washmali,
Awaba,
Awab,
Hagarya,
Wagari,
Gabal,
Wal,
Waimawan,
I'm the one,
Waimalak,
I'm the
Palashah,
Shah,
I'm Yeshabia,
Yeshabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gamashawar,
Gamashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Ayawa,
Ayawa,
Sarawat,
Sarawat,
Banyalawat,
Bayulawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Ashalaham,
Ashalaham,
Kamadyan,
Kamadyan,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayabyan,
Ayad,
Wakal,
Manakal,
Kwayashwan,
Yashua,
Ashamadwa,
Mashmad,
Bayan,
Bayan,
Dara,
Nara,
Ayawa,
Ayawa,
Daman,
Naman,
La'ama,
La'ama,
Shatamwa,
Sayyidam,
Nada,
Kada,
Yamawa,
Yamawa,
Kaira,
Kaira,
Kazaba,
Kazab,
Kazabak,
Kazabak,
Kazazal,
Kazazal,
Manahai,
Manahai,
Kal,
Kal,
Messiah Kamwa,
Sayyidam,
Allahat Slakin, Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amar,
Mayor Rashah,
Mayusha,
Lanawa,
Now,
Ath,
Ah,
Na'awat,
Nawa,
Alahayim,
Ahai,
Alahaya,
Alahai,
Messiah Thamwa,
Sayyidam,
Kagalgala,
Kagar,
Kakwash,
Kwash,
Afanya Rakah,
Ayurakat,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Tabaira,
Tabaira,
Ya'ira,
Ya'ira,
Kalahaba,
Kalahaba,
Alahat,
Alahat,
Aryam,
Aryam,
Khan,
Khan,
Taradatma,
Taradat,
Masairaka,
Masairaka,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapatka,
Wapat,
Tabalam,
Tabalam,
Malaha,
Malahat,
Fanyaham,
Panyaham,
Walawan,
Palawan,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayukash,
Shamka,
Shabaka,
Yahawah,
Yahawah,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayabahawa,
Wayahai,
Ayai,
Ayai,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayakapar,
Wayabadwa,
Wayabad,
Wayadaiwa,
Wayadai,
Wayatha,
Wayaka,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawah,
Yahawah,
Labadka,
Wabad,
Ayawan,
Ayawan,
Call,
Alha,
Ma'arataza.
Alha,
Psalms 83rd chapter in English. Keep not thou silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
And be not still, O God.
For lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make a tumult.
thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden
And
ones.
consulted against thy hidden.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Yasharallah
That the name of Yahshua
may be no more remembered.
may be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
But they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacle of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
And Moab.
And the Hagarene.
And the Hagarene.
Gabal.
The Baal.
And Ammon.
And
And Amalek.
And Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
And the inhabitants of Tyre.
But so also is joined with them.
So also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabir.
As to Jabir.
At the brook of Kasam.
At the brook of Kasam.
Which perished that endures.
Which perished that endures.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Make their nobles like a red.
And like Zaid.
And like Zaid.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes as a bar.
all the princes of Sabbath,
and as Amuna,
and as a movement
who said,
who
let
said,
us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh
the houses of Yahweh
in possession.
in possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burns the wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
So persecute them with thy tempest,
and make them afraid with thy storm.
make them afraid with thy storm,
Fill their faces with shame,
fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded and troubled forever.
let them be confounded and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame and perish,
let them be put to shame and perish,
and then they know that thou,
and then they know that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high of all the earth.
art the most high of all the earth.
The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Wa Yahweh Shai,
Wa Yahweh Shai,
Wa Ma'akala,
Wa Ma'akah,
Wa Alahayim,
Wa Alahayim,
Tasab Yah,
Tasab Yah,
Alawak Yahana,
Alawak Yahan,
Alawakim,
Alawak,
Asaranyim,
Asaranyim,
Abakas Ayanyim,
Akodas Ayayim,
Akaya Yoyim,
Akaya
Wa Agwatim,
Wa Agwatim,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Hashem Yahweh Shai,
Shim Yahweh Shai,
Wa Rahman,
Wa Rahman.
in the English. Bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahweh Shai,
and Yahweh Shai,
and Michael,
and Michael,
and the angels,
and the angels,
commanding General Yahana,
the main general,
the generals,
General,
the captains,
captain,
the officers,
the officers,
troopers,
troopers,
and the sisters.
and the sister,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
in the name of Yahweh Shai.
thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
Sorry while you're shouting, you can turn and be seated. Once again, we'll be in Proverbs, the 4th chapter, beginning at the verses that we're going to read in the Hebrew are going to be verses 2 through 7. That's like it. 1 through 7. Forgive me. Excuse me, 20 through 26. So we're going to read Proverbs chapter 4, beginning with verse 20 in the Hebrew. Banya, Ladabarya, Akoshayaba, La Maria, Ata, Azanak, verse 21. All, Yalya Zawa, Ma'ayan, Yaka, Shamar Ma, Bathawaka, Lababka, verse 22. Baya, Slaki Kaya, Kayam, Ham, Lamataza Yaham, verse 23. Makal, Mashamar, Matazar, Labka, Kaya, Amanwa, Fanataza, Wath, Hayam, verse 24. Hasar, Mamka, Sulaki. Aquashawath, Pa, Walazawath, Shapath Yum, Harakat, Mamka, verse 25. Ayanyaka, Lanaka, Yavayatawa, Waipa, Slaka Waipai, Payaka, Yashawa, what Slaki Wagadka, verse 26. Palas, Magal, Ragalka, Wakal, Darakyaka, Salaki, Yakanwa. So that was verses 20 through 26. We're going to read those same verses in the English. So Proverbs chapter 4, beginning at verse 20.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 20 in English. My son, attend to my words. Incline thy ear unto my sayings.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 21. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart.
Mm-hmm.
For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh.
All right, so now this of course is the book of Proverbs, which was written by Solomon. But these are the words of the Most High. All right, this is the Most High letting us know that we need to attend to His words and incline our ear unto His sayings. Verse 21 says, "Not to let them depart from our eyes," right, and keep them in the midst of our heart. this is something that we got to remember. It's easy to read the Bible and feel a certain way. You get a certain zeal about you and you feel like, damn, this is it. You know, this is the truth. I love it. I love the Lord, this, that, and the third. But it's easy to do that and then to allow those words to depart from your eyes and to let them leave your heart, leave your mind. Because not everybody can live the lifestyle that the Bible prescribes. All right. It's easy to read about it and talk about the wonderful, glorious stories that we see in this Bible, but to actually live it is something completely different. On the back of our Kentucky 8 shirt, it says, you read the Bible, we live it. All right. Because most people will just read through these scriptures as a Christian or as some, you know, a so-called Bible believer. And that's where it stops, is what their eyes see on the paper, but they don't live this Bible. Well, the Lord is telling us that we don't allow these things to leave our eyes or to leave our mind, right? Verse 22, read that again.
Verse 22. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. And the reason why the Lord is telling us not to allow these things to escape us is because they're life to all of us that find them. You understand? These scriptures are life. This is what gives us life. Life ain't living a wicked lifestyle. That's not living. That's not life. You understand? Living your days high as hell out your mind, doing the things that you know are wrong, but continuing to do them because you only live once, right? YOLO. That's not life. That's not living. You're wasting your life. The scriptures are telling us that the law, statutes, and commandments, the prescriptions that the Most High has given us, that's life. The life unto all of us that find them, and health to our flesh. Why? Because living the righteous lifestyle is a healthy lifestyle for your mind, spiritually, mentally, right? And physically too. You understand? If you follow these laws, if you're not a glutton, you're not going to end up with all of the diseases that these people in the world that end up with. If you're not eating the things that the Lord told you not to eat, like pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, you understand? You're not going to end up with the high blood pressure and the diabetes and all of these things that plague our people, right? So these words are life and health to us mentally, physically, spiritually, everything, right? Keep going. Okay. Verse 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence.
And that's what you got to do. You got to keep your heart. What does that mean? Keep your mind. Keep a sober mind, right? Be on that path that's straight and narrow. Understand the goal. Understand the end goal. This is what we're doing. We're doing this, keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, teaching these things, teaching our people, healing our people, fixing our people. We're doing all of this for one common goal, which is to get the kingdom of heaven. And that's why I say to keep your mind, keep your heart. Go ahead.
Okay. Keep thy heart with all diligence.
With all diligence. You got to be diligent. This ain't something that you can't just live life and let it pass you by and you expect to keep the commandments. That's not how this thing works. You understand? You have to diligently do these things. Otherwise, it'll slip past you. And you'll fall off like I've seen so many people do. Just leave the truth. And it's not even that they just made a grand exit. They just stop coming to class, stop listening to class, stop calling for counsel, stop checking in, and eventually they just fade away because they weren't diligent. Keep going.
Okay. For out of it are the issues of life. Put away from thee a froward mouth. Put away from thee a froward mouth. Go ahead. And perverse lips put far from thee. Right, and it's talking about speaking evil things, right? We understand that that's something that the Lord don't respect. As a man that speaketh evil things, right? Keep going. Okay, verse 25. Let thine eyes look right on. And this is what we're going to talk about for the most part today. Read that again. Okay. Let thine eyes look right on. This is what I always like. Whenever I read this verse, what I always compare it to is tunnel vision. Having tunnel vision. You're not looking to the right, to the left, or to the right. Right? You're looking head on. Why? Because right in front of you is what you need to look at it. That's that end goal. Right in front of you, that's that kingdom of heaven. And you got to stay on that path. It's easy to veer to the left or to the right, but you got to look straight on because that's where you need to go. Keep going. Okay. And let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Go ahead. Verse 26. Ponder the path of thy feet. Right. And think about the path of your feet. This is another thing that you got to do. Think about what you're doing. A lot of people walk around mindless and clueless all day long. Don't know what the hell they're doing. Don't know where they've been and don't know where they're going. Right. But the scriptures tell you to ponder the path of your feet. Look at what you're doing, right? Look at what you're doing. The scriptures always tell you this, to examine yourself. Do self-examination. See whether or not you're in the right spirit or not. See, a lot of people don't do that. You just automatically think that the Lord is with you, but
You could be making grave errors in your life that's causing the Lord not to be with you. And that's a mistake. It says when the Lord leaves you, there's nobody that can help you. Nobody. You understand? And so that's why the scriptures is telling us to ponder the path of our feet. Watch where we're going. Watch what we're doing. Every move that you make, you got to question it. Every move that you make, you got to think, is this the right move? Keep going.
Okay. And let all thy ways be established.
And let your ways be established. What is that? Put your feet planted in the ground, 10 toes down, know exactly what you're doing. Don't never be unsure. Don't ever be unsure about what you're doing. Let your ways be established, right? Keep going.
Okay. Verse 27. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil.
Hold for me, James, the first chapter. We got to remember that. That's going to be the whole theme of today's class, right? It's not to turn to the left or to the right. Remember that tunnel vision I was talking about. You got to look straight on. There's an end goal that we all fighting for. And that's a common goal that we all got. And for us to get that goal, we all got to be on that exact same path, pressing toward the kingdom. That's what Paul said. We got to press toward that prize that Christ has set for us. All right? Give me James, the first chapter and the 5th verse.
Okay. The book of James, chapter 1, verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not. It shall be given him.
Now, how do you ask of the Most High for wisdom? Well, the Lord has always had men on the earth that hold his wisdom, that hold his path. Remember, we just read in Proverbs, the 4th chapter, let all your ways be established. So what does that mean? You got to be sure about everything that you do. Well, how are you going to do that if you don't get counsel? How are you going to do that if you don't make sure by asking the men of God? When you ask the Most High, it's not just getting on your knees and praying. No, that's not the way that you speak to the Most High through his prophets. That's how it's always been. When you back at the time of the Exodus, when you wanted to speak to the Most High, you was going to the priest in the temple, in the tabernacle. Excuse me, the temple wasn't built at that time, but at the tabernacle, you had to go. There was always an intercessor. You understand? Well, that's the same way that it is now. It's always been that way. You always have had to go through the prophets or the priests of the Lord to make intercession with the Most High. It's always been that way, and that's how you ask the Most High for that wisdom, and you get your ways established. Yes, I'm.
So I was gonna say, you sure it's not having a personal relationship with God?
No, see, listen, it's definitely not having a personal relationship. Nobody has a personal relationship with God. I just want everybody to understand that. Nobody has it, except for Brock. Yeah, he got a personal relationship with God. He's, but nobody has a personal relationship with God. You don't find that in the scriptures. The Most High has a relationship with the children of Israel as a whole, right? And that's the way that it is. The only way that you can have a so-called relationship with the Most High is through the prophets. You understand? I hate using that word relationship. I only did that because you said that. You understand? But the only way that you can know the Most High is through the prophets and the priests, according to the Bible. That's it. All right. Keep reading.
God, verse 6. But let him ask in faith, not wavering.
Let him ask in faith, nothing
wavering.
Nothing wavering. See, this is another thing that people have a problem with. You know, the scriptures say, Christ said it himself. He said, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, whatever you ask, as long as you ask in that faith, it'll be given to you. But if you don't have that faith, remember that blind man that he made to see? Excuse me, the lame man that he made to walk? That man couldn't walk. He told him, be it according to you as your faith. If that man that was not able to walk didn't have any faith, he wouldn't have been able to walk. Jesus wouldn't have been able to heal him because it was according to that man's faith. Faith is the biggest thing that you can have when it comes to receiving the things that you want, right? That's why the scriptures say, let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. Don't be wavering. See, and that's the problem that most people have. You're double-minded. You don't actually believe in the Bible. You don't actually believe it. It sounds good. It makes you feel good. That's what so many Christians have a problem with. It makes them feel good because when they go to church on Sundays, they get that Holy Spirit. They get somebody hit them with their coat, and then they fall over and they just, they got the Holy Ghost. They hum da la bumba, and shitty, shitty, bang, bang, and all of that. They speak in their little tongues and they go home feeling good because they just went to a concert. They're coming down off of that high, going to a goddamn concert. Just like when you went to go see that Beyonce concert, you went home feeling good. But that's how you feel when you come home from the Christian church, because that's all that is. It's just entertainment. Because you don't actually believe in the Bible. Yes.
No, and you know that's true because that's why y'all worship Beyonce.
Right.
Because she made you feel good with her songs and her dances. That's what happens at the Christian church. That's why you worship Jesus. Right. The moment your Jesus, says you have to go through hardships to serve him, you're like, not my Jesus.
Right. Yeah, that's not the Jesus you got a personal relationship with.
Right.
Because the Jesus that you have a personal relationship with is your husband. That Jesus is your husband. That's your man. He's not gonna let nothing happen to you. Christ said it himself. He said, all men are gonna hate you for my name's sake, but you don't want to go through that. You want everybody to love you. So you're gonna do that. That's why these pastors allow all of that whoredom going on in their church. Because if he told them no, everybody would hate that pastor. He wouldn't get no more money in that collection bucket. You understand? In that offering bucket. You had something?
Yeah, I was gonna say too. You're talking about let the waver having faith. When you talk to people about the Bible, you point out the truth of it. They be like, well, it was written by a man anyway.
Right. And it's like, well, I thought you believed in the Bible. But see, that's my point. Nobody actually believes in the Bible. So this is why a lot of times people get confused, right? And this scripture is important for what we're about to talk about, because it says nothing wavering. Wavering is like, on a teeter-totter. You just kind of back and forth with it. Keep going.
Look at James chapter 1, verse 6. Let him ask in faith, nothing wavering.
Go ahead.
For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed.
So who's driving this man's actions? The sea, right? The wave of the sea that's driving this man with the wind and tossed. He's going back and forth. It's not him making his own decision. He like a leaf in the wind, just wherever the wind blows. He'll be a Muslim today. He'll be a Christian tomorrow. He'll be a 5% of the next day. Wherever wherever the wind blows him, whatever he falls upon. Whatever weird nut on YouTube that he comes across in his recommended videos, that's what he's going to believe today. And that's how so many people are. And that's another thing with a lot of these people that start these fake Israelite groups. A lot of these people that join fake Israelite groups or try to become an Israelite, they doing it because it seems cool at the time. But as soon as they go through something that they don't like or find something in this Bible that they don't agree with, they're going to turn back Christian, or they'll turn atheist, or they'll turn Muslim, whatever they feel like doing, because it's really not about serving the Most High. It's about serving whatever they want to do. That's why they're tossed to and fro like a wave of the sea, right? Give me verse 7.
Verse 7. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything from the Lord.
And that man ain't gonna receive nothing, because that man, for one, is wavering and don't actually believe in the Most High. Most people put on a front like they believe in God. That's just a front. I'm here to tell you that let's just say out of the 100% of people that say they believe in God, only 10% of them actually do. And out of that 10% that actually believe in God, maybe like 5% of them really only know what it means to serve God. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Most people don't fear the Lord. They say they do, but they really don't. You understand? Because they don't even know the Lord. Right? And they waver. They'll go wherever the wind blows them. That's why these Christians, they be church hopping. They're just gonna go wherever the music sound good. And wherever the pastor got the most umph in his voice to make it. He got the best voice, he gonna sing the best. They're gonna go to TD Jake's church. Oh man, they gonna go, he gonna put on a performance. That man, y'all saw that full clip of the swallow thing? That man, he said, come out of the closet. And he said, if it wasn't for the Lord, I would have been. He start walking. I'm like, bro, this is a concert, and they playing the music in the background. It's a concert. It's entertainment. You went to a goddamn Beyonce concert. He's just a fat bald-headed Beyonce. That's all he is.
Damn.
Because you went to go feel good, and something the general said was so funny about that whole topic. Nobody was talking about it until it came on the internet, but the people that went to that were there,
That's heavy.
They were like, that's heavy. They was like, oh man, yes, I've been swallowed up. I've been swallowed up. They all have been through that, apparently, right? Until they go on the internet and they like, yeah, they're making Jakes look crazy. I ain't going back to that church. I ain't being associated with that.
Brother, wasn't you there?
Right. But you was there, clapping and cheering and all of that for the entertainment, right? But of course, now you'll go to Creflo Dollar's church until he does something even more gay than that, you know. And then you'll go somewhere else, or you'll stay there. You know, people still follow Eddie Long after his death. Follow that man after all of the allegation, and not even allegate the proof of this man being a goddamn chomo.
Right.
You know, but y'all are just, even though the scriptures teach against that, and we all understand as moral human beings that that's wrong, you're still gonna follow that because you don't follow the Most High. You follow the idols that you choose here, right? Let me get James the 4th chapter. Just go forward a few more chapters. James 4 and start at verse 7.
Look at James chapter 4, verse 7. Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
That's what you got to do. You got to submit yourself to the Most High, and that's hard for people to do. That's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. What's easy is, you know, waking up on Sunday morning and going and feeling good and having a concert you pay your little $5, $10 offering for. You understand? That's easy. And then you live the rest of your life, the rest of your week in wickedness. And do whatever the hell you want to do. You know? But that's the go ahead, you got something?
I was going to just say, you know, we still talking about submitting yourselves to God. Like a lot of these, when I was in a Christian church, you know what I'm saying, young, you know, up in Flint, you know, going to a Baptist church, I noticed that a lot of the women, when they say, you know, they would dog their men, but then cook the pastor the most heaviest meal. So,
yeah, that's
you know,
that's deep in that church.
You know, I see all that, and it's like, you know, seeing it now as an adult, you know, and being in the truth, I realize now that they never submit themselves to the Most High. They submit themselves to the pastor because he said all the good things that made them feel good.
And the parents are screwing your wife too.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I went back, you know, that pastor that they always going to make them meals for it. He said most of the women that was in there.
Yeah. You know, it was I can't remember these cats' names. It was two major churches in Atlanta. I won't say recently. This is just one of the bigger scandals. It's all over. We talking about the major churches. I can't remember the pastors' names, but it was two of them in like a couple years span. Major churches that they both got found out they was sleeping around with like everybody in the church, like all of the men's wives. It was
like a pastor and a deacon or something.
Yeah, it's like exactly, yeah. And it's like, well, why should this surprise you? They teach you that the law is done away with. So I mean, really, adultery.
Like getting married at all.
And then they're gonna teach, like they'll teach like when Christ when the Pharisees brought that so-called adulterous woman to Christ. And you know how Christ was like, y'all without sin cast the first stone, and then nobody did it, and then he told the woman, go and sin no more. Like they teach that to make it seem like adultery is okay. That's how they teach that scripture.
That's their breakdown.
Yeah, that's their breakdown. Is like, look, you can't be judged for committing adultery. When that's not at all what that Bible verse, that story that's not even talking about that. It's not even the point of that. But they're gonna make it to fit what they want it to be. You understand? But let's keep going. Verse 8.
James chapter 4, verse 8. Draw nigh to God. He will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded.
And the reason why we're talking about the Christian church and all of these scandals and all of that is because the people that go to these churches are the ones that are double-minded, because they say they want to serve the Most High, but at every turn they find a way to disrespect and to disobey the Most High. At every turn. And the reason why is because they're double-minded. Because outwardly they want you to believe that they want to serve the Most High. That's why they say they go to church. They say, oh, I'm Christian, right? Which the term Christian literally means follower of Christ. That's what that term means. And so they want you to believe that they follow Christ, but in all actuality, they just want to look like they follow Christ. But they'll live their life however they want to. That's why them cats, what are they, the ROI, they call themselves the ROI Israelite. I don't know what it even means. I think it's the something, I don't know, but the leader of that group is he believes, and his whole little congregation believes that he's David reincarnated. That's that dude. If y'all saw Captain Mashak posted a video, they got the fringes on their t-shirt, got all of it. They got the menorahs and all of that. And they got that ham with that was marinated in Coca-Cola for 2 days.
This is my little secret.
He said that's his little. I'm like, brother, you're gonna die. Not only because the Lord is gonna put you to death, but brother, that's Coca-Cola that you have now. You've soaked this ham in Coca-Cola, brother. What's wrong with you? If that ain't the fattest thing I've never heard in my life, you gotta be
That's some big back behavior.
Yeah, that's big back behavior. like, brother, you can't tell me that didn't cross your mind. Like, it's a little too much, brother. You already eating ham. It's already unlawful. But there's got to be something. That's like adding sin upon sin. If you soaking that thing in Coca-Cola for 2 days.
You know what's crazy to me? It's like it's a known fact that Coca-Cola breaks down.
Right, exactly.
For the way, and that nigga like, yeah, this is my jam. Look. Oh yeah, how was shot? This the
right.
This boy.
That nigga eating carbonated ham. That's wild. Look,
it was definitely sin upon sin because it was Christmas or Thanksgiving.
They did Thanksgiving and they did Christmas too.
It was Christmas, and he said we're going to sanctify these heathen days, you know, our way, which is not how that works. And then the nigga would cook up 2 big old hams.
Yeah, 2 hams. They had the collard greens with the ham in them.
Boy, they look like something straight out of my nightmares from my childhood.
But this the point, right? They want people to think that they serve the Most High, and that would, I mean, it shouldn't surprise you, but it would surprise you. They got a whole lot of followers. It's a lot of people that follow that, because you want to be able to look like you're serving. You want to feel good about, like, I serve the Most High. Most people know. This is what a lot of people won't tell you. Like, Christians won't admit to this. A few of them will, though. Like, I've ran into a couple that will admit that they know it's wrong. Like, they know in their mind, I know the Most High told us that we can't eat this. They know that. They know in their mind, we shouldn't be around this Christmas tree. There was this Christian that I knew about 7-8 years ago. And we was talking to him about Christmas because he had a Christmas tree in his church. And we was like, you know, don't you know where that tree come from? He was like, yeah, it's pagan. We was like, what? Like, you know that? He's like, yeah, we know it's pagan, but you know, it's Christmas time, you know. Okay, I mean, what do you say to that? It's like, because most of them do know that what they're doing is wrong. They know Christmas is not that. They know it's unlawful. You read them Jeremiah the 10th chapter, and they're like, yeah, but you know, it's for the kids, and you know, the Lord, he'll be all right. Like,
the Lord, he'll be all right.
It's like that. That's how they look at it, and the reason why is because they know it's wrong, but they have to psych themselves into believing like it'll be okay. It's not really that big of a deal. It's just pork. It's not a big deal. It's just a Christmas tree. It's not a big deal, right? When we was battling them Christians outside, you know, I read to them Isaiah the 66th chapter where it tells you that pork, you know, the people that are eating pork when Christ returns, they admitted that that's a future prophecy. That's when Christ makes his second coming. Christ's gonna put you to death if he finds you eating pork, right? And they admitted that, yeah, that's in the Bible. I said, so do you believe that? He was like, well, no, I don't believe that. I was like, so you don't believe in the book of Isaiah? He was like, no, I can't believe in that.
Not my Jesus.
Not his Jesus, because he got a personal relationship. So, but that's my point. You understand? But see, at least he admitted it. Like, no, I actually don't believe in the Bible for real. I just want to feel good. That's what he admitted that day. And that's what most people won't do. Most people won't admit it, right? My point is, that's a double-minded man. Why believe in the Bible at all? The scriptures tell you this. Christ said this out of his own mouth in the book of Revelations. He said, I would rather that you would be hot or cold, but you're lukewarm. I'm going to spew you out of my mouth. And that's what that man was. Somebody who claims to believe in the Bible, but don't actually believe in the Bible, that's a lukewarm man. Because that you're right there in the middle. You say you believe in the Bible, but you don't actually believe in the Bible. It's just something for you to just say you believe in it. Yeah, it makes you feel good. You know, it's like a fiction book. Like you read, like you pick up the Hunger Games. and you have fun reading that. So it's a fun book to read, you know.
Right.
But
You're a fan of the Bible.
right, you're a fan of the Bible. That's the perfect way to explain it. That's what it is. Well, the Lord don't want no fans of the Bible. He wants you to either do it or don't. The Lord have more respect onto a full-blown atheist. He would rather you just, nope, I don't believe in that Bible, don't believe in God. When you die, everything goes black. he would rather you believe like that than to pretend to believe in this holy Bible. Right? So that's of course, that's what being double-minded is. And you can't allow yourself to be like that. Now it's different levels to it. Because you could also say you in the truth, but really behind closed doors, you hate your brother. You say you're in the truth, and maybe you don't eat pork and crab and shrimp and lobster, and maybe you don't celebrate Christmas, and you do come to the feast days, but in the back of your mind, when you go home, you really hate your brother. That could be the one offense. You know, we talked about this on Tuesday, right? Because if you offend in one point of the law, you have become a transgressor of the law, whether it's the smallest or the greatest, whether you're a murderer or a pork eater, whether you're an adulterer or you hate your brother. You've offended. Now you've become a transgressor of the law. Well, that makes you double-minded, even in that so-called small of a sense, right? You had something?
I was going to say when I was, at US Vets, there was a brother that, constantly tried to come and battle me on the Bible. And one thing that brother just I asked him one day when they were serving out food, and I looked in the line. I was like, "Give me everything, but don't put that hammer on my plate." He's standing right behind me in line. He said, brother, go ahead, get that hammer and give it to me, man. I was like, don't you believe in the Bible? He said, yeah. I was like, what you in hell for? Man, listen, God know my heart, and God sanctified that ham.
God didn't sanctify.
I was like, really? You gonna say that? He's like, yeah. He's like, no, don't worry. Get the ham. I was like, you giving me? I was like, I'm not giving you that ham. I can't. I don't want it on my plate. Why I'll put it on my plate to give to you?
Right.
Not only that, but the brother, also told me that, he wanted to be a speaker. Like going to different churches to speak.
Yeah.
I was like, but not because he just wanted, not because he loved the words so much, because he just saw that all those people who do that make lots of money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so you're not worried about, so-called bringing people close to God. You're just worried about how much money you can get out of people.
Yep. And that's exactly what it is for most people. It's just for some people it's a profession, meaning there's something that you can just make profit off of. For some people it's something that just makes you feel good. And then for others, people like us, it's what we have to live by. It's our life. It's our lifestyle. It's everything that we live. It's every fiber of our life. But not everybody's like that. Some people are double-minded. We're gonna keep talking about it, right? Let me get Matthew the 6th chapter. Let me get Matthew the 6th chapter. You can drop down to verse 22. I'm gonna read this, just so we can get another understanding of this.
Verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 22. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light.
Mm-hmm. So just keep that in mind, right? The light of your body is your eye, and if your eye is single, then your whole body will be full of light. Keep going.
Verse 23. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness.
Right, but contrary-wise, if your eye is evil, then your whole body will be full of darkness. Keep going.
If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness?
How great is that darkness? Keep going.
Verse 24. No man can serve two masters,
Mm-hmm.
for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to one and despise the other.
Right there. See, we talked about this again on Tuesday as well. There is no gray area. It's either good or bad. It's either righteous or unrighteous. There is no, I'm kind of righteous, or I'm righteous some of the time. That's not at all what the Bible says. The Bible says no man can serve two masters, because you'll love one and hate the other. That part of you that is unrighteous, let's say it's in percentages, right? You're 80% righteous. Well, that 20% unrighteousness is the wickedness. That's serving Satan, right? Now, can you serve Satan and God at the same time? That's what Christ said is hell no. You can't serve two masters, because you'll love one and hate the other, right? Well, this is the point. You can't have a certain amount of, I'm good this amount of time. Got to go back to the Christians again. You can't be good on Sunday and then be evil you can't be evil Saturday night, go out to the club and dance on 20 niggas, and come to church on Sunday and praise the Lord. It don't work like that. You understand? It just don't work like that.
They do worse than that.
Yeah.
They don't just stop at the dance.
Yeah, they definitely don't just stop at the dance, you know. Right? But point being, right, is that you can't serve two masters. If your eye, listen, if the light of your eye, excuse me, the light of your body is the eye, well, if your eye is single, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is wicked, or excuse me, if your eye is evil, the whole body is going to be full of darkness. There is no in between. Like I said earlier, there's no gray area. Nowhere that you can't be in between. Remember, Christ said there's no lukewarm. He's just going to spew you out. You better pick a side. That's what you got to do. You got to pick a side, righteousness or unrighteousness. The scriptures say, Moses said this in the book of Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter. He said, I set before you today life and death. Therefore, choose ye life that you may therefore live. You understand? Because there is no in between. There's no kind of living and kind of dying. There's just death and life. And you got to pick one. Keep going. What's like it? We good on that. Give me 2 Peter. Give me the book of 2 Peter, the 2nd chapter. Second Peter 2 and excuse me, and give me verse 2 Peter 2 and verse 9.
The book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, verse 9. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness, and despise government.
Right, but chiefly, this is who the Lord chiefly knows how to deliver unto the day of judgment. Those that chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government. What does it mean to despise government? Is it talking about despising the United States government? No. To be governed means to have somebody has authority over you. Somebody is in control of you. He's in charge of you, right? Well, the government that this is talking about is the Lord's government. This is talking about order. The Most High has control over Christ. Christ has control over the angels. The angels have control over the body of Christ. And that's who we are. And we are governed by the laws of the Most High. All right. And that whole order comes right on down to us. And if you hate that government, if you hate that order, the Lord is quick to deliver you into the day of judgment. Keep going. Go ahead. You had something?
Yeah, there's a question. So this kind of goes against those that like to talk about how, like, I've seen videos talk to people who say that they don't like the Bible because the Bible was made to control people and to put them under law. That people don't need laws and government and such.
Yeah, everybody needs government. Everybody does. You know, a child comes out the womb lying, stealing. I mean, think about it. Children, it's in our nature to get what we want. So like a child, before they really even learn right from wrong, they already being sneaky. They're gonna try to. They know they're not supposed to. This is cliche, but they know they're not supposed to have that cookie. They know they're supposed to ask for it. I'm not gonna ask. I'm just gonna grab it. I'm gonna take it. Right? That's in their nature to just do that. Why? Because they just want to get what they want. So what do they need? What does that child need? A governor, a father, a mother, somebody to tell them, no, you can't just take that cookie because you want it. You have to ask first. And I have to tell you whether or not you can have it. Right? You have to have somebody to that. And that's what we are. Naturally, that's humans. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We just got to get taught. That's okay. So, yeah, we do need a Bible to control us. Now, it's up to you whether you want to be governed by these laws or not. One day you're going to have to be. But for right now, you could choose whatever authority. You're allowing somebody to have control over you, even if it's yourself. And I fear for the one that allows himself to have control over himself, because the person that thinks that he can control himself and make all his decisions are the same persons that made all of the bad decisions in their lives and try to find a way to blame it on somebody else. You understand? Well, how about you allow this Bible to make the right decisions for you, and you could blame the Bible for all the good things that happen to you. But you don't want that. See, anytime especially since I've been in the truth, anytime I've done something wrong, something that I might not have known was wrong or whatever, and I get corrected by these scriptures, I can't be mad at nobody but myself, because the Bible that I hold to told me, hey, this was the way you were supposed to do that. If I'd have just listened the first time or took heed, I wouldn't have had to be mad at nobody. I wouldn't have made no mistakes. The people that say the Bible is, made to control you and this, that, and the third, they just want to make mistakes and not have to be accountable for it. I want to be able to make mistakes and then hold myself accountable so I never do those things again. Those types of people are gonna die. You understand? That's those types of people.
And I like that metaphor, because as a child would disobey a parent, that's the first government you disobey. You know what I mean? You despise the direction of your parents, the guidance of your parents. Well, that means you think you know better.
Right.
You think you know something that is good for everybody, not just you. And generally, the selfishness that resides within people is what makes them despise being governed.
Right.
And that's why Christians say, "Oh, I can't not eat pork. Jesus wouldn't have me do that." That's no. Jesus actually would have you not eat pork, but you being so selfish and so just so greedy, you won't stop for God. You wouldn't stop for your parents when they told you don't creep out at night and go do all that nastiness you wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So, don't put it on God or your parents.
Right.
Now it's your fault.
Yeah.
And so you decided to hate governance.
Right. Yeah, Jesus, for most of these people, Jesus Christ can come in the flesh right now and tell you not to do that. And they be like, who you think you are, my daddy? That's what these bros will say. Right. Jesus Christ is coming in the flesh and tell you what to do, and you're not listening to a goddamn thing, because you only want to listen to yourself.
Who these dusty niggas?
Right. Right. And it's like, that's why the scriptures say, woe be to them that take counsel but of themselves. You're stupid. You shouldn't make any decisions ever at all. All right. Let the Bible make your decisions for you. All right. And then you'll make the right decisions every time. Okay. Let's keep going.
Okay. Presumptuous. 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 10. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government, presumptuous are they, self-willed. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignity.
And they're self-willed. And they do whatever the hell they want to do. That's that leaf in the wind. You're just going to go wherever the wind blows you. And that's gay and just simple. You're weak. You just, you can't put your foot in the ground. You can't take a hard position and say, no, this is what I am. I'm a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of such and such. And I keep the law, statutes, and commandments of this Bible. You can't just put your foot in the ground and just do that. You can't do that. You can say, yeah, I read about that. Yeah, I like what y'all do. Always, brother, you should come. Yeah. It's like, brother, well, then what are you? Like, what do you do? What do you believe in? I kind of just believe in the Bible a little bit of the Quran. I think everything got some truth in it, nigga. You're stupid. Like you're weak, and that's what this Bible is. The Bible is telling you that, not me. You're double-minded. You're weak in the faith. You don't understand what life is about. Life is about having your foot in the ground on one thing, and whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Like I said, Christ would rather you just be cold. Have your foot in the ground that you're an atheist then. Don't believe in nothing. Or believe in the thing that the Lord told you to believe in. It's your choice. Moses gave you that choice. You understand? But just understand which one is life or death. But let's keep going.
Okay. Verse 11. Mm-hmm. Whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, bring not railing accusation against them before the Lord.
Go ahead.
Verse 12. But these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not.
And that's what you got to be careful of. You don't speak evil of things that you don't understand. That's what people do about the Bible. Them same cats that tell you, or these probably women too, but women, men, whoever, those same people that are telling you that the Bible was just created to control people, they don't even know what the F they talking about. They don't even know what they're talking about. I can guarantee you they've never read this Bible. I can guarantee it. They probably went to come. Their parents probably forced them to go to church every Sunday, and that's why they felt they was being controlled. You understand? they saw the BS in the Christian church, and then they decided not to research the Bible for what it was because they've been given a false pretense as to what the Bible really is. And they just give up on it and they tell you, oh, I don't believe in that garbage. But that's for one, that's a railing accusation. But then it goes on to say, excuse me, that they speak evil of the things that they understand not. Don't, like the scriptures tell you, don't speak before you have heard a matter. That's what the book of Ecclesiasticus tells us. All right. Don't speak before you have heard a matter. Don't think that you just know every goddamn thing. If you don't know the Bible, don't pretend like you know the Bible. That's it. When people come up against us, that'd be where they go wrong at, because they don't know about the Bible, but they pretend they do because they think they're talking to a bunch of dumb niggas. Until we cut them to shreds and to smithereens with this Bible, because we understand the Bible. They speak evil of it. Even the Christians that say they believe in this thing, they speak evil of it and say that, oh, the Most High did away with the law. That's an evil thing. That's blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. You understand? They said that the Most High did away with the law. That's not true. Why are you lying on God? Right? You have something?
That's like also speaking of evil. That also like those people like to say that, oh, God is like all the other gods, but just go by different names.
Yeah, that's evil too. It's a couple cats that I know that teach that. Yeah, that's bad. Like that's bad doctrine, and that's an evil thing. And of course, it's once again, you just don't understand the Bible. This Bible is very clear on who the Most High is, and that He's not your Allah. You understand? He's not. Those are two different gods. You serve a rock. We serve the Most High Yahweh, right? Clear. But of course, you don't know that. So, you speak against this Bible without even understanding what it is you're speaking against. Keep going.
Okay. And shall utterly perish in their own corruption.
And you're going to die in your misunderstanding of this Bible. You speaking evil against this thing you don't understand, you're going to die in your lack of understanding. You understand? That's what you're going to do. You're going to die in that. Keep going.
Okay. Verse 13. And shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they that count it pleasure to riot in the daytime.
Go ahead.
Spots, they are in blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings while they feast with you.
And that's another thing, sporting themselves with their own deceivings. That's another thing that people take pride in, like lying about the Bible. Ain't nothing worse than somebody.
It's full of contradictions.
Yeah, exactly. The Bible's full of contradictions. Like,
Name one.
right. And when you have to name one, they say, well, the ones that that are in there. Nobody can actually name nobody can name a contradiction in the Bible. And the ones that you think you can name, we already have heard a million times, and they're not contradictions, because there are no contradictions in the Bible. But you will speak evil against this Bible because you don't understand it. Right? But you're gonna sport yourself in the deceiving that you do. That's why so many people, it's funny, like Captain Zaryak destroyed that old conscious community garbage, but they used to sport themselves in the deception of the Bible. They used to say that the laws of the Bible were taken from the 42 laws of Ma'at. They used to say that Jesus' birth was taken from the birth of Horus. They used to say all of that garbage, and we just destroyed it. Captain Zaryak destroyed. Why? Because they think they got the knowledge and the understanding until they run into somebody that actually. They was sporting in it. The cats was making all of these videos and laughing and shooting that Bati boy. I wish I could just say the word I want to say. Yeah, that damn pedophile, deviant, polite, nasty ass. He, shooting up the Bible and all of it. All of they sporting themselves in their deceit. They don't know the Bible. And, maybe if that nigga would have known the Bible, maybe he wouldn't have committed that disgusting atrocity that he committed toward that poor little girl. You understand? Maybe you should find the value in the morality of the Bible. And maybe, these wicked niggas wouldn't be committing the atrocities that they commit towards our people if they would just follow the thing that we've been telling people to follow since 1969. Just follow this Bible. It'll get you out of these jams. Get our children off of the streets. Stop our children from being abused. But y'all don't want to. Y'all want to follow Malachi Z. York. He followed his daddy. Now he in prison with his daddy for the same thing that his daddy did. How about that? Well, that's the point. They sport themselves in deceit, but the scriptures just said that they're gonna die in their deceit. They're gonna die in it. I don't know what to tell you. Keep going.
Okay. Verse 14. Having eyes full of adultery, and that cannot cease from sin, beguiling unstable souls.
And they're gonna beguile unstable. You know how many people follow that nigga Polite? You know how many people follow SETI and that whole Amin Ra squad garbage and all of that? I mean, and then of course we could just talk about the Christian church. All of these people that deceive the masses with their breakdowns of the Bible, right? The deception that they bring, trying to break down this Bible and trying to teach people that this book is what it really ain't. Well, the scriptures say that they're beguiling the unstable souls, right? Those people that they don't have their foot in the ground on, they don't understand the Bible. So it's easy to tell somebody, yeah, God said the law is done away with. That's why the people that come up against us about those things, somebody taught them that, but never taught them how to fight it. So when they come up against us and say, yeah, the law is done away with, and then we prove to them that it's not, they're like, well, no, because you're wrong. That's all they can do. And we just destroy them because they're unstable souls that have been beguiled by somebody that wants to teach them the Bible a certain way. You understand? But those same people that are teaching them the Bible, their eyes are full of adultery. They can't cease from sin, right? Keep going.
Beguiling unstable souls, and heart they have exercised with covetous practices, cursed children. Verse 15, which have forsaken the right way and are gone astray.
These same people, they know the right way. Like these people know what this Bible teaches. This Bible don't teach nothing that they talking about, but they have forsaken the right way. They left it. What does that mean? That's a double-minded man. He's unstable in all his ways. That's a double-minded man. He know that this Bible teaches a certain thing, but they're going to deceive you with this thing because this Bible has been proven to gain a whole lot of people a lot of money and a lot of power. People have utilized this Bible to make a lot of goddamn money and to have a lot of power. I mean, look at the people that are the main ones in the earth teaching this Bible. They millionaires. Some of them billionaires. Flying on $70 million jets. I mean, just like that dude that you was talking about, he was like, I want to be a speaker. Why? Oh, because, they make a whole lot of money. He don't care about teaching the Bible. And he going to teach the people. This is what he going to do. He going to teach the people whatever gets people to follow him. He'll teach you that you can have sex with a goddamn pig if that means that people will follow him. He'll teach whatever in order to get the people to follow him. Because why? Those same people that have them eyes full of adultery and they cannot cease from sin, they're going to beguile the unstable souls for their own gain, even though they know the right way. Go ahead.
I can say just nothing about that same brother. The same brother now would talk to him, he would, one of the things that he will always say, that, Christianity is the right way because there is more people in Christianity.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be telling you
that. Be made. And I was like, well, there's more money to be made. Christianity has so much money, and, the church as a whole, makes over $1 billion each year. Why are there not more Christian shelters in America?
Right.
Why are there not more things to help people out? I'm saying, just like you got churches here and there might do some soup kitchens that might pass out food here and there, but you don't see those people on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Right.
Any other time of year, they're not doing anything for nobody else. And then this brother also teaches that, he came to me one day and was like, man, I almost went and had marriage had sex outside of marriage. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I almost went with that white woman that was washing her clothes the other day. I was like, well, interracial marriage is wrong. He's like, man, listen, I can't deal with these black women. I'm saying these black women are just too damaged. I need me a good Christian white woman.
What a weak nigga.
God. And I was like, it's like, well, isn't there any good Christian black woman? Well, no, not like no good Christian white woman. They ain't nothing like that. Like, so, even though the Bible says that interracial marriage is bad, you're going to still go out and do that and teach people that it's okay?
Mm-hmm. Of course he is.
He said, well, God knows our hearts is in the right place, brother. He was like, God don't care.
No, God don't know your heart's in the right place, but he do know your heart. He know exactly. The scriptures say that he know the wickedness in man's mind. So he know your heart. He know exactly what's wrong with you. You're an evil nigga. That's your problem. He gonna put you to death. That's the problem with a lot of people. They don't fear the Most High. Like that's what goes back to the whole point of what we've been talking about. They read this book and it make them feel good, and certain passages in here make them feel good, but they don't actually fear the Lord. If you feared the Lord, brother, you would not do any of the things that you do. You'd be so deathly afraid of making those types of decisions. You would never, ever go against what the Lord said. Like, of course, when you brought up that whole interracial marriage thing, if a man actually truly feared the Lord, he would read Deuteronomy the 7th chapter and be like, hey, the Lord gonna kill me if I deal with this woman, because she is not my nation. If you truly feared the Most High, you would read Leviticus 11 and say, I'm not even gonna touch a dead pig. Nonetheless, put it in my mouth and chew it and eat it. Right? You understand? I listen. If you truly fear the Lord, you will read Leviticus the 23rd chapter and you say, I'm never going to miss a Passover. I'm never going to have my servant working on the Sabbath. I got to start keeping the Sabbath right now. I got to start keeping the feast days right now. I got to stop eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, duck, catfish. All of the things that the Lord said not to eat, I'm going to stop eating them right now. And if you truly believed in the Lord and you feared the Lord, you would do those things, because that means that you're afraid of the Lord's punishment for those things. You read Isaiah the 66th chapter and say, "Oh shit, I'm going in my fridge right now, and I'm getting rid of every piece of pork bacon that I got in that thing, every ham hock, all of my 2-day marinated Coca-Cola ham. I'm throwing that out the window." You understand? I'm getting rid of all of that. You know why? Because I truly fear the Lord. I'll say that the story I was gonna. I mean, I don't know. Okay, this was a lack. I'm gonna give y'all the story. There's a lack of understanding, but it was zeal, just not according to knowledge. When I first found out that you had to wear fringes, I remember cutting. This is out of ignorance. Don't nobody do this. It's stupid. Don't ever do this. But I cut my damn shirt all up, trying to put fringes in it and wrap the damn blue ribbon around it. Went to work like that and everything, looking like a goddamn stone idiot. Zeal, but not according to knowledge. Don't cut your damn t-shirts up. Don't put fringes on your t-shirt. Your t-shirt goes on your holy garments. But however, it was like when I heard that you had to do that, it was like, all right, that was it. I had to make sure that I was pleasing the Lord, because I was like, damn, the Lord. Now that I know, I always knew this, that once you find out, like Hebrews 10:28, once you find out that you've been doing wrong, you got to stop. Because once you willfully, after you've received the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sin. So I was like, oh no, you ain't gonna catch me without fringes, putting fringes on this white Hanes t-shirt. You understand? Of course, that was through my ignorance, but however, that's just the mindset that you want to have, is like, as soon as you find out, hey, I can't do this, stop doing it. You understand? All that comes through wisdom, of course, and coming to class and being taught by men that know the Bible. Because another thing too, I read the Bible my whole life and I never read that. Never saw that. Never really made any sense to me until it was taught to me correctly. So, the point being is, that's the true fear of the Lord. Now let's keep reading. Matter of fact, what time is it? Let's jump. Give me first Maccabees in the Apocrypha. Give me first Maccabees, the 2nd chapter. What's up? What kind? Don't come up here. What you need? I got
Second chapter.
I can use that.
Yeah, first Maccabees 2. Yeah, to get down there. Yeah, first Maccabees 2. You can start at verse 19.
Okay. For the first Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 19. Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice. Though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him, They'll fall away every one from their religion of their fathers and give consent to his commandments.
Now remember, this is when I believe it was Antiochus, when the Grecian king came over and invaded Jerusalem, all right, and basically took Jerusalem over, right? And Jerusalem became Hellenized. Okay, Mattathias was a priest. He was a Levite, right? He was a priest, and everybody was leaving the laws of the Most High and starting to follow these Greek customs. They wouldn't. I mean, these Greeks was something terrible, man. They was like, ain't no Yahweh, ain't none of that. All right, your temple, we're taking this temple over, and we're gonna sacrifice pork. We're gonna sacrifice swine's flesh in this temple. Of course, we understand is an abomination into the Most High, right? They did all of that. I mean, it was bad. They was killing people that would not adhere to their laws and all of that, right? Mattathias, he said, all the nations under the king's dominion, they obey him. And everybody that's under the king's dominion, they all fall away from the religion of their fathers. Everybody's willing to leave their customs out of fear for this king. Verse 2. That's like 20.
Okay, verse 20. Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers.
He said, yet will I and my sons, we're going to walk in the covenant of our fathers. Meaning, he put his foot, he took a solid, hard position and said, look, I'm doing this. I'm putting my foot in the ground. I'm not going to the left or to the right. My allegiance is to the Most High, not to Alexander the Greek, not to Antiochus, not to any of these other people. My allegiance is to the Most High and to the Most High only. And he put his foot in the ground and said that. That's not a double-minded man. That's a man that is stable. He understands what he stands for. Understand? And that's how you gotta be. It don't matter. Nobody should be able to push you from one way to the other. Nobody should be able to make you waver and question your God. And I might die if I no, because look, Mattathias understood. I might die for this because the king was putting people to death for going against his laws. You couldn't serve no God of the Bible. You couldn't do that. You couldn't be a Jew. You couldn't do that. You had to be a Greek, and that's just that also goes to show where the Greeks in the New Testament come from, as far as us being called Greeks, because a lot of people left their cut, like a lot of the Israelites left their customs because they was afraid of these Grecians. And so it was like, look, I'll be Greek, fine. That's how a lot of us became Hellenized. But Mattathias, he wasn't with that. He was like, no, we're gonna fight. Ain't nothing that you can do to get us to stop from keeping our laws, statutes, and commandments and following the Most High God. Keep going, verse 21.
Okay, verse 21. God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances.
It said, God forbid that we should forsake the laws and the ordinances. Nobody can stop us from keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments and doing what the Most High told us to do. No man can stop us from doing that. Keep going.
Okay, verse 22. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion, either on the right hand or the left.
You see, we keep seeing this common theme, the right hand or the left. We're not going to go to hold for me 2nd Ezra to 7th chapter. We're not gonna waver from the left or to the right. We got that tunnel vision that we talked about in Proverbs the 4th chapter. Keep your eyes straight before you. You got to look at the end goal. It don't matter if to the right and to the left is a way out. There's your exit door right there, right in front of you. Listen, in front of you, there's a lot of shit in your way. That path is rough, but you're gonna look that way. You're not looking for an exit to the left or to the right, even though it seems better. Give me 2nd Ezra 7 and 6. We're gonna close out with this. This is the scripture that I gotta get this, because this is gonna show you how detrimental it would be to you to go either to the left or to the right. You got to have that straight and narrow path. Give me 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha, chapter 7 and verse 6.
I got this book of 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha, chapter 7 and verse 6. There is also another thing. Mm-hmm. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things.
Now this city is built and it's set upon a broad field, and it's full of all good things. Go ahead.
Verse 7. The entrance thereof is narrow,
Mm-hmm.
and is set in a dangerous place to fall.
And this says sort of to get to this place. Now, I'm just going to break it to you. This is talking about the kingdom of heaven. All right, spoiler alert. This is talking about the kingdom of heaven. This is a great place, right? It's a city that's built in a broad field and it's full of all good things. But to get to this place, the entrance is very narrow. All right, and it's set in a dangerous place to fall. Keep going.
Like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water.
And on the right hand, there's fire. And on the left hand, there's a deep water. So it's narrow to get through here. If you fall to the right, you're going to fall in that fire and burn up. If you fall to the left, you're going to fall in that water and drown. Keep going.
Verse 8. And one only path between them both,
Mm-hmm.
even between the fire and the water,
Mm-hmm.
so small that there could but one man go there at once.
And it was so small, so narrow that one person can only fit at once. You understand? This just to give you a precept for this. You know how the scriptures say, seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling, because you can't save your partner, your brother. You can't save nobody but your goddamn self. That's why that's kind of what the analogy is here. Only one is so narrow that only one man can go at a time. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 9. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
So now, if this city is given to a man for an inheritance, the only way that he can get to this inheritance is to pass through that danger. He's going to have to walk that narrow path. And that's the path that we walk. You got to walk this path. And the only way to get that inheritance, even though it's ours, the kingdom belongs to Israel. Understand that. The kingdom of heaven belongs to the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. It belongs to us already. That's who the Lord created it for. However, the only way we can receive that inheritance, we got to go get it. The Lord ain't going to move it towards us. We got to go towards it. So we got to pass that danger. So you're going to be on that narrow path, and you're going to look to the right and left, see that fire and that water, and say, I can't go over there or over here. The only place I can go is straight forward. Now, if I decide I want to go over here or over here, I just know that death follows. That's it. And that's what Moses told you. Choose life or death. Life is that straight and narrow path. Death is, I think I'm going to go this way a little bit. I'm going to fall into that damn fire. I'm going to fall into that water. You're going to die. There's no good that can come out of it. Keep going.
Verse 10. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then he said unto me, even so also is Israel's portion.
That's why I said spoiler alert, right? Because this is talking about the kingdom of heaven, right? This is Israel's portion, right? Go ahead.
Verse 11. Because for their sakes I made the world.
Most High made the world for our sakes. He created this whole place for us to rule it, right? That's it. Keep going.
And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done.
And now I'm going to explain to you why that path has to be so narrow. Because when Adam transgressed, then was decreed that now is done. Verse 12.
Verse 12. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail.
And that's why it's got to be tough. Because a lot of people don't want to take that narrow path. Nobody want to go through that danger. Nobody want to have to deal with that and go through the tough times. Everybody wants butterflies and honey, rainbows, teddy bears. That's what you want. You want life to be fluffy, but that's not what life is. Because the Lord knows this about people. When life is fluffy and butterflies and all of that, rainbows, you end up getting complacent. And then you don't do a damn thing that you're told. That's what always happens. And we can go through the history. We understand that happened with Adam, but go through the times in the Chronicles and in the Book of Kings. You find out when we have it good, we get complacent. The land is flourishing. We thriving. Oh, I can get away with a little bit of sin. Cool. That cycle is all throughout the book of Kings and the book of Chronicles. We get complacent because things are going good. And the Lord got to snap us right back in place again. Like, I ain't give you all this good shit just so you could be badass kids. He's not going to spoil us. So you're going to take it right back. You buy your child a damn PS5 and he just acting up the wall. Give me that damn PS5 back. I'm taking it back. You don't know how to act. You understand? What the Lord had to do is do that with us multiple times. Well, he saw that with Adam. So he says, you know what? In order for you to get this good thing, I'm not just going to give it to you, even though it's yours. You got to work for it. You got to go through that dangerous path. So after Adam, it say, then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. Go ahead.
They are but few and evil, full of perils, and very painful. Verse 13. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and short, and brought immortal fruit.
Right. And that's what we could have had. We could have had that. Listen, that wide entrance that Adam had, it was wide. He still found a way to go off. So the Lord, he made those entrances to get that kingdom, to get our reward. He made those entrances very narrow, and we got to go through these things. What's the point? What's the point that I'm trying to drive? You got to stay on that narrow path. You have to put your foot in the ground and say, I'm going that way. I can't go to the left or to the right, even though it seems better, even though it's easier. The Lord ain't set us out for no easy. Like if we go up to we ain't got to read that right now, but the scripture, it's in the same chapter, 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter. It tells us that life is war. This is the battle that every man that was born upon the face of this earth must fight.
And this just proves what we've been talking about all day. You know what I mean? You can't do what you want to do. God isn't going to give you an exception because he knows your heart.
Right.
You have to live your life on a straight edge.
Right.
You got to live your life according to what he said, and you got to believe in what he said. Otherwise, man, you want it to be easy. You want to be a prince because you were born a prince.
Right.
You want to be rich because you were born rich. You don't want to work to be you don't want to work to be rich. It's not in you to be it's not in you to have that power. How many of us have complained about a manager or a president or somebody who is in power that shouldn't be, makes terrible decisions? But they're there because they were born in a certain lifestyle, they were given certain things, and now they are over you. Not by credit, not by merit, not by hard work. God doesn't want his kingdom to be that way. Right. And you don't want this one to be this way. You need to start to change. You need to start to elect yourself. You need to start to act like you want to be a part of God's world, God's kingdom of heaven. This is not a fantasy. This is reality. And it means you're going to have to put some real work in. The first thing you can do is stop marinating that ham in Coca-Cola.
Right. Please don't do that.
That's the very first thing you can start to do. Right. Jesus Christ. In the name of Jesus. Stop doing that. Right. And then start working more on yourself and more on yourself and more on your family, more on your family until you and your family are approved.
Right.
I mean, so like.
No, and just to go into something that you had said, right? Ecclesiasticus 15 says, he had commanded no man to do wickedly, neither hath he given any man a license to sin. You don't get a license to sin. God don't know your heart to be righteous. He knows your heart to be wicked. The book of Jeremiah says the heart is wicked, desperately wicked. Who can know it? You understand? That's you. And so now what you got to do, instead of trying to follow your heart and follow your dreams and desires, you just have to follow the Most High. This is the manual. This is what's going to get you into the kingdom of heaven. These are the instructions. All right. And in order to follow these instructions, you're going to have to do it the way that the Lord told you to do it, not the way that you feel like doing it, not trying to wiggle your way out, and try to find a way to get yourself into the
eat the pork.
Yeah, don't read Mark the 7th chapter and be like, oh yeah, the Lord said that will God have cleansed? Don't do that. Stop it. Right. Just understand what the Lord is giving you the instructions to do and just follow the instructions. And that's what you got to do. Put your foot in the ground, man. Take the hard stance that I serve the Most High, just like Mattathias did. I serve the Most High, and ain't nothing that nobody could do to me that's going to get me to stop it.
Right.
All right. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and close out. Imagine. Which means to stand. Pranyak Wadam, which means to turn face to east. We're going to close out with the prayers. Beginning with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Wadah. Ayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Lakwaka. Tabah. Tazaka. Ayah. Aisha. Rataza. Sawa. Ayah. Shemayim. Thundernawa. Come. Kal Yawam. Salakanawa. Kawatnawa. Salaknawa. Kawatinawa. Mala'ah. Messiah one. Abal. Hawashai Mayan. Rakaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Ha'ala. Watapara. Laiwalamia. Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. The power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Babakashai, Nathanawa Hakat, Hakat Rapa'ah, Maka'ala, Makal Madawa, Hakat Latahar, Hamat Zariah, Hakat Lakwayam, Hamathia, Hakat, Arakawa, Atama'ala, Ba'ashem, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Wadaman, power in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you, so be it. We're going to read Psalms the 121st chapter in Hebrew. Asha, Ayanya, Ahahaya, Mayan, Yabaha, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Barataza, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Ana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yashan, Shamar, Yashala. Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyanka, Yawmam, Hashamah, La'ah, Yakata, Wayarak, Alayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Karai, Yashamar, Adnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'afka, Wabah, Wa'aka, Ma'aitha, Wa'ai, Awalam. I'm going to read Psalms 121st chapter. Okay, have a seat. In the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasharallah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forth. And even forevermore. We're going to read Psalms the 83rd chapter in the Hebrew. Allahayim, Al-Dama Yalaka, Al-Thakaraz, Al-Thashakwat, Kayana, Awayadika, Yahamayawan, Ra'ash, Al-Aimaka, Yarayamwa, Sawada, Wayatha, Yaitas, Amarwa, Nakawa, Nakakidam, Magalia, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yashala, Awada, Kaya, Awaitizawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Alyaka, Maryat, Yakarathwa, Ahaya, Arawam, Wayashmayalia, Awaba, Wagarya, Gabal, Waimawan, Waimalak, Kalashah, I'm Yeshabia, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Alawat, Imam, Ayawa, Zawai, Banyalawat, Salah, Ashalaham, Kamadin, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabian, Manakal, Wayaswan, Nashamadwa, Bayan, Dara, Ayawa, Daman, La'adama, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kazaba, Kazabak, Kazal, Manai, Call, Saya Kamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nairasha, Lanawa, Na'awat, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Galgala, Kakwash, Panyuraka, Ka'ash, Tabaira, Yaira, Kalaba, Kalahat, Aryam, Khan, Tawadatma, Lasaraka, Abasa, Wapafka, Tabalam, Mala'ah, Panyaham, Walawan, Webakashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Webahawa, Ayai, Wekaparwa, Webafadwa, Wedaiwa, Yatha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Ayawan, Akal, Psalms 83rd chapter in English. Keep not thou silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
And be not still, O God.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Yasharallah
The name of Yahshua
may be no more remembered.
may be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
of Moab,
and the Hagarene,
and the Hagarene,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and
Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
So also is joined with them.
So also joined with
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They are hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as unto me.
As to Sisera.
As to Sarah.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
The brook of Kassan.
The brook of Kassan.
Which perished that endured.
The spirit of the Lord.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became a dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
They did not like a red.
And like Zaid.
And like the head.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes as Zabah.
All of the princes as far.
And as Amunah.
And as the moon
Who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us say to ourselves,
the houses of God
the houses of God
in possession.
in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burns the wood.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
And as the flames of the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame and perish.
Let them be put to shame and perish.
And men may know that thou,
And they may know that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high of all the earth.
art the most high of all the earth.
Read the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Ma'agala.
Wa Ma'agala.
Wa Lahayim.
Wa Lahayim.
Tazab Yah.
Tazab Yah.
Alawab Yahana.
Alawab Yahana.
Alawabim.
Alawab.
Asaranyim.
Asaranyim.
Apatazayanyim.
Apatazayanyim.
Akayayim.
Akayayim.
Wahabwathim.
Wahabwathim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Waramah.
Waramah.
In the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana.
The generals.
The general.
The captains.
The captain.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
Thank you so be it.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, while you're shopping.